in-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News Today.
As the fight over school funding continues at the state capitol, a lot of districts are choosing to close schools. They're cutting their programs, even getting rid of teachers. Thanks for being with us. I'm Tom Miller. Over in Leander ISD, students enrolled in a cut program. They walked out yesterday. And KXAN's Nabil Ramadna shows us what these cuts mean for these current and future students.
Waving signs and chanting as they walked. Some students at Vandergrift High School upset after Leander ISD decided to cut the International Baccalaureate program.
The day that the message came out was serious. I didn't understand why. There was no compromise.
The program was started in 1999 at Leander High School, then expanded to Vandergrift High School in 2018. There are also programs at Grandview Hills and Mason Elementary Schools. Some students tell us they transferred to Vandergrift just to be a part of the program.
Because I'm an IB transfer, I spent this long adjusting to this new waters and going to Vandergrift High School instead of being able to stay with my peers that I've known for over 10 years now.
Currently, there are 267 high school students in the program. We asked Leander ISD what the cuts mean for students and teachers. They told us that they are phasing out the program, allowing high school juniors currently in IB to complete it. High school teachers and coordinator positions will remain for now, but there are 4 elementary school teachers impacted by eliminating the program. Those at Grandview Elementary and Mason Elementary.
I had my entire high school planned out, and then all of a sudden, in the matter of a message, it was all burnt.
Leander ISD is facing a $34 million deficit and also had to cut about 200 teaching positions. The district's assistant superintendent tells us while they value the IB program, they have to prioritize programs that are both financially sustainable and equitably accessible to all students. But still, students tell us the move is devastating.
It is definitely really upsetting that they're making decisions this big that affect so many people.
Nabil Ramadna, KXAN News.
Leander ISD leaders tell us that they believe they can place teachers who are no longer needed in one job into other openings still within the district. Now, after passing the Senate, lawmakers are close to allowing your tax dollars to pay for private school tuition. Governor Greg Abbott is a proponent of these private school vouchers, says every child deserves the education that is best for them. However, the bill faces some opposition in the House where it has previously failed to pass.
I'm very concerned that we're not doing what we need to do to address this school funding crisis across the state.
We have continuing coverage on that back and forth between lawmakers at KXAN.com.
First warning weather with meteorologist Tommy House.
So yesterday was a seasonable day. Our high temperatures were just in the upper 60s. We will see a bit of a warm up though today, and that carries on into the weekend. Right now though, it's nice and cool, 49 degrees, calm winds. Will stay calm with winds throughout the day today as well. Here's how it looks on clouds and radar. We're actually much colder right now compared to where we were yesterday because we don't have the cloud cover in play. 13 degrees colder in Austin at this hour, 20 degrees colder in Rockdale, 23 degrees colder out toward Llano County, with temperatures in the hill country currently clocking in the 30s, low 40s in Williamson County, and then upper 40s, low 50s farther south of Hayes County towards San Marcos. By the afternoon hours, mid to upper 70s will be returning with the winds very light. 76 in Austin for a high temperature, maybe 80 out toward the hill country. So we'll talk about this warming trend on my full forecast. When will it rain? Severe weather is possible for the deep south. We'll discuss that coming up in just a bit.
This morning, the legal fight continues over White House efforts to pause federal funding. Some smaller organizations across the country remain in limbo, and local nonprofit Global Impact Initiative is among them. Helps assist refugees who arrive legally to acclimate into the United States. The program depends on federal grants. As KXAN's Kevin Bosker reports, the group says it is now struggling to make ends meet.
At the North Austin offices of Global Impact Initiative, refugees walk in and out, pondering about their future. Aliana Sante, who moved to the U.S. last August, is one of these refugees. She says she depends on the organization to pay for rent and groceries. She says she struggled to find a job, and the pause that has hit GII has ultimately hurt her. Anja Malik, the executive director of Global Impact Initiative, says the impact has been devastating.
I'm all for trimming the budget, cutting the fat, making everything effective and efficient. But in my opinion, there has to be a systematic way to do it slowly and letting people be aware of what's going on. Because here, suddenly, these refugees were left without a caseworker.
We also role models to the clients because this is a self-sustainable program that assists clients in order for them to get like a job. Since we're also not being the role model right now, then what does that predict for them too?
The Trump administration had said it wants to determine, quote, the best uses of funding that are consistent with the law and the president's priorities. Sante says she hopes for the issue to be resolved soon, as the grants have been a huge help for her and to other refugees. Kevin Bosker, KXAN News.
To give you an idea of the impact, in 2023, the Immigration Research Initiative said Texas received more refugees than any other state over the past decade at around 44,000. And the freeze on federal funds is also impacting some of Austin ISD students and teachers. District says it is helping to find new positions for 8 teachers who worked under the International Welcome Center at Webb Middle School. That program helps refugees and asylum seekers and their families. AISD was notified on February 11th that money was frozen. The district has more than 400 refugee students. Good morning, this is a live look outside from Bee Cave. Happy to have you with us on this Friday. Last Friday of February. Switch over to March this weekend. Thanks for joining us on KXAN News Today. Future of the Department of Education might remain unclear for now, but Linda McMahon is a step closer to heading up that agency. Her nomination to be Education Secretary advanced in the Senate. McMahon is looking to join Trump's cabinet after 4 years as chair of the America First Policy Institute. That is a conservative think tank. The clerk will report. Even though President Trump said he would prefer to put education policy in the hands of the states. McMahon's final confirmation vote is slated for Monday evening when the Senate returns. Meantime, the Texas Senate voted to shut down the sale of Texas lottery tickets online and through the app. The vote comes after senators accused lottery services of aiding a potential money laundering scheme 2 years ago. They claim that they worked with an entity to buy almost every number combination in order to win a $95 million jackpot. That bill banning online sales now goes to the House. Good morning, this is a live look from downtown Austin, where you can see just how many skyscrapers are popping up all over town. Happy to have you with us on this Friday morning. We have some interesting insight into Gen Z's future credit standing. This is people born between 1997 all the way up to 2012. The Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas releasing a credit borrowing report last week shows some of Texas's youngest spenders are racking up debt quicker than older generations have in the past. Found Gen Z is more likely to max out available credit compared to others. Experts predict that those in their early 20s with lower credit spending are actually more likely to stay on top of managing it once they turn 30, while others may trend toward delinquency and lower credit scores. All right, we've got a few different ways to spin this story. You'll likely see people on the side of the road. They're spinning those signs. They want to get your attention for a business. But for some, this has turned into more than just being a human billboard. It is a competitive sport. And photojournalist Todd Bailey met up with a team of spinners. They are taking their skills to the World Championship in Vegas.
For some reason, it's what gets me in the zone. Something I get to feel like, I'm kind of flying, get to get out of the body and really move in a free way. So that's what does it for me.
I definitely see it more as an art form than a job. That's what's kept me spinning for so long. It's changed from how the roots used to be.
It's become much bigger tricks.
Kind of one of the people that like doing big aerials so I can get a lot of attention. Show them the helicopter in the wind, my favorite one.
Now I'm in a position where I'm providing that same opportunity. I want that opportunity to stay around for other people or whoever just finds that they're naturally good at it too. I mean, no one knows how to spin a sign right away.
I enjoy that people are able to kind of like pick up the energy that I put out there. At the end of the day, like I tell everyone, you get out what you put into this job.
I have a lot to prove. During the summer, I took a lot of beating up from the signs, so, you know, but it got me where I am today.
That's incredible. Well, the championship is Saturday, March 8th. Teams are judged on technical ability, execution, and style. Winners get first grabs at certain gigs and a boost in pay for the year. And then they're headed to Vegas. So we'll see. I mean, this is like next weekend.
Yeah, that's very exciting. A lot more talent than I could do per se.
Do you have like a special talent that most people wouldn't necessarily realize?
Sometimes getting the weather correctly. That's probably the biggest one. But I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
I know, I put you on the spot.
No,
there.
That's okay. If I think of something, I'll let you all know. How about you?
You know, my special talent is that I am very good at ice skating.
Ice skating?
Yes.
You play hockey growing up?
I did play hockey growing up. So I'll get out there and sort of zip around on the rink whenever the opportunity
I love that.
itself.
We played pond hockey growing up.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Massachusetts.
Yes.
You know, it's the best. You can't beat it. All right, let's talk about the weather right now. It's not hockey weather, but yeah, it's definitely not. But these temperatures, they are warm. We're dealing with the 70s here in Texas today. Yet again, here's the big picture, clouds in radar. There's really not a lot to talk about at all. It's a very quiet day weather-wise. No complaints here. Temperatures 44 in Dallas, 49 in Austin, 50s down toward the Gulf Coast. Farther up the northern plains and Midwest, some 30s and 40s at this hour. So currently right now it's feeling pretty comfortable. It is on the cooler side, but far away from freezing temperatures in the downtown area. 36 in Llano, 36 in San Saba, 39 in Mason. East of I-35, some 30s and 40s sprinkled in with low 50s down towards San Marcos. Here's how the next 24 hours will look. We'll go from the 40s to the 60s by 11 a.m. Mid-70s by the afternoon hours, and the temperatures will begin to cool back down to the upper 50s by 11 p.m. and then 40s for your very early Saturday morning. High temperatures city by city, 77 in Llano County, 76 today in Austin, 75 in Georgetown, 75 in Bastrop, as well as San Marcos. A very busy weekend, a lot of fun stuff to do in the Austin area. NASCAR at Coda, 76 today, 82 tomorrow, so much warmer. Make sure you're wearing your sunscreen too. UV index is back up to around 6 or 7, and then 78 by Sunday. We should be dry through the entirety of the weekend, but then late Sunday into early Monday, that's when rain chances begin to return. I'm keeping it just at 20%. It's actually a pretty tricky forecast because there's a few different big atmospheric dynamics that are in play here. We're going to have this trough that's going to continue to dig deep and move eastward across the central and southern plains. This is a pretty typical setup for severe weather across the deep south. Colder air is going to get funneled in at the upper levels, and across the places like Louisiana and eastern Texas, we're going to have southerly flow. A lot of moisture, thunderstorm fuel, and instability. First, let's play out the next few days. Here's Sunday, a little bit of scattered shower activity across the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then more moisture or winds from the south on Monday could bring some scattered showers, and then we're going to see a Pacific cold front lineup. Again, if you live in Texas for a while, we have the dry line in the cold front, recipe for some storms to erupt. This will be late Tuesday throughout Wednesday, through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Storm Prediction Center is highlighting possible severe weather just to the north and east of the Austin area, so right outside our KXAN viewing area. This does include College Station, Tyler, Texas, and then a more probable look for storms north, let's say up toward Shreveport, Greenville, Mississippi, into portions of Tennessee, Arkansas. This does include as well Missouri and a little bit of Kentucky. So storms are happening. Big question is will that dry line and cold front give us some severe weather? It's still up in the air. We're going to fine-tune these details here at the First Warning Weather Center. 76 today, mostly sunny. Tonight back down to 49, calm winds. And watch what happens here. We're going to be seeing much warmer than normal temperatures. Keep in mind our normal high for this time of year is in the upper 60s. So 70s today, 80s tomorrow. 80s again on Tuesday. Front moves through into the 70s and sunshine to close out the end of next week. Yesterday, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration began the process of firing hundreds of probationary workers. It's part of the mass job cuts within federal agencies. An administration official says NOAA let go about 5% of its staff. NOAA's website says it has 12,000 staff worldwide. The agency issues daily weather forecasts, storm warnings. It also monitors our climate and tracks health on our waterways.
All right, thank you, Tommy. This is a live look at one of our TxDOT cameras, and a new phase of I-35 construction is starting in downtown Austin. The I-35 Capital Express Central project underway right here at Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Yesterday, the Texas Department of Transportation said it is starting that phase near Lady Bird Lake. Erica Brenna has talked with TxDOT to help all of us prepare for the potential traffic impact.
Right now, I'm along the service road of I-35, right by Lady Bird Lake. The Texas Department of Transportation releasing an update today about the I-35 Capital Express Central project. Join me now, Jeff Barker with TxDOT. So let's talk about the most recent new phase of the project, what it's going to entail right here around Lady Bird Lake.
This latest milestone here is announcing that we're ready to begin construction on the Lady Bird Lake segment of the project. Right now, what our crews are doing is essentially just preparing the corridor for a major construction project of this caliber. Some of those more significant lane closures or more significant construction activities you won't tend to see until probably later this year, maybe beginning at Riverside Drive over there, where we're going to build a single point urban interchange intersection, and then maybe not as much for drivers, but on the eastbound pedestrian bridge at Lady Bird Lake, that's where you'll see the first of the major impacts, I guess, if you will.
So what is it that TxDOT is constructing? I mean, I know this is I-35 from up north at 45 to way down south at 45, that whole stretch. But right now the focus is on the central part, and specifically right here at Lady Bird Lake.
Yeah, specifically some of the highlights of the Lady Bird Lake segment of the project. We're adding 2 non-tolled HOV lanes in each direction, a complete reconstruction of the Lady Bird Lake Bridge. We know it's been many, many years since there was major construction done on the bridge, and we know how much Austin's grown since then. So again, these are much needed features for safety, mobility, and connectivity. We're also doing a single point urban interchange, constructing that at the Riverside Drive intersection. That intersection will also be built to accommodate future CAP Metro lines that could come in the future. We'll also be building a pedestrian only bridge at Woodland Avenue. And then again, the entire scope of this whole project includes much needed safety improvements.
So Jeff, you mentioned that MLK at I-35, that intersection is already under construction. Can you elaborate on that? How is that going?
Yeah, so the next big update for drivers at the MLK project will be a permanent closure of the southbound upper deck exit 235A exit that you would take to MLK or to 15th Street. So now if you want to exit MLK and you're coming southbound, you need to use the lower deck. One more update in the coming months for folks. You will see a traffic shift coming up soon where we'll close the north side of the bridge and then flip traffic down to the south side as we demolish and reconstruct the north side. Once that part's done, we'll essentially flip it from there. And then when that's all done, again, that'll be, a new MLK Boulevard bridge for you.
Yeah, big changes coming all around downtown Austin on I-35 and south and north. Well, thank you for the update.
Thank y'all for having me.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Happy Friday, y'all. Vic Schaefer is the energetic and very winning coach at the University of Texas for the women's basketball team. Before the Burnt Orange, he was just that for Mississippi State, leading them to back-to-back national championship games. A lot of success there, as he's had in Austin. And a night ago, Schaefer back in Starkville as a visitor for the first time. Texas and Mississippi State. Longhorns looking to run that winning streak to 12. #1 team in the country. Can they keep it rolling? Man, it was a dogfight early on. Jockalingo went in town to the South Dakota native. Gets up to North Dakota on that one. Knocks in the and one. A big smile. Why not? But Mississippi State was there to fight. Montague here puts Mississippi State up 5 late in the second quarter. So Texas trying to scratch and claw their way back in this one. Here in the third quarter, it's Wenentana again with a big and one to tie, eventually take the lead with the free throw. And she had a big game, 15 and 11 for her. And here at the end of the third quarter, Mississippi State goes back up 2 points. We're just going to keep this rolling. Watch what happens. Watch the ball. Rory Harmon from beyond half court. Unreal to end the third. They go up 1. Would have been pretty incredible if that was to end the game, but still a big moment for Harmon and company. They had the momentum heading into the fourth quarter, and in the fourth, the local product, Shea Holly, was big. A couple big threes here. She had 16 points all in the second half. That ties a season high, and this Texas team gets a big win, and they just keep on rolling and adding in that win column.
The win overshadows everything. we're so close. These kids are so close to doing something that's so hard to do, and to see them grit out and grind out a victory today, I'm just really proud of them. This team's, they always find a way.
Yeah, it was really cool being back at Mississippi State. Obviously Coach and his family have a lot of people here, a story here, so wanted to play good for him, but it's been a lot of fun.
Senior day for the Longhorns Sunday as they try to finish this magical run in their first year in the SEC. Also happening later today, Texas Beach Volleyball on KBVO. You can watch it live. Longhorns in action at 2 and 4. Our Brianna Hollis will have the coverage as Texas looks to stay hot here early in the season. That's it for us. We'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Noah. Coming up, the measles scare hitting a little closer to home. If you're listening today on the KXAN Today podcast, thanks for joining us. Hope you'll join us on air for that. All our stories also on our website, KXAN.com.